Hello everybody, Lisa here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a walkthrough, a first impressions early look at the Heartwood Tarot by Stephanie Burrows and Adam Ohlers of Three Trees Tarot. I am so stoked about this. So this is a prototype copy. There'll be some things that you need to know about that. But before we jump in, if you are not familiar with Three Trees Tarot, Stephanie and Adam are the creators of the Oak, Ash, and Thorn, which I love this deck. Now, I'm a huge fan. So there's some disclaimers I feel like that we should say. Huge fan of everything that Stephanie has created thus far. I love Adam Ohlers' artwork. I think he illustrates Stephanie's ideas beautifully. I love everything about this. I love everything about these decks. So I'm heavily biased. Keep that in mind. You do you, but I want to show you all of the beautifulness. So I love and use the Oak, Ash, and Thorn deck a lot, and I'm sure you've seen it out in the world. This is just a brilliant deck. It's very comforting, and I think part of that is the art style, but a lot of that is the scenes depicted and how Stephanie chooses to envision the various cards throughout the tarot. It is unique and different, and it has so much personality and heart. Like, look at this Hermit. I have everything. I have every deck that Stephanie's made and produced. I have, of course, the full-size Oak, Ash, and Thorn, which was their flagship tarot deck. But then I also have it in a mini because I'm obsessed. Like, hashtag obsessed. Is that a thing? The mini, I use it all the time. I really like the mini for larger spreads, Celtic Cross, and that sort of thing. Same thing. I want all of her decks in this size, and this is not a mini. This is like, if we look at the standard, right? Like it's only, I don't know, it's like 60% the size, maybe 80% even the size. I don't know, I can't math, but what does that look like to you? So it's a pretty good sized mini or pocket. It's more like what I would call like a pocket or travel size version of the deck. But this is great for large spreads. I use this all the time. I love it. And then, of course, I also have, I'll just put this away. I also have the Smoke, Ash, and Embers deck. Like, dragons, right? Amazing. And all of the decks that she creates and that Adam illustrates are just, they're transportive. But that being said, I don't think either of these decks have taken me someplace the way that Heartwood Tarot has taken me someplace. So I have peeked because I can't help myself. Plus, I'm a nosy girl and I just have to know all the things. And I just can't wait to take you into this deck. Now, there's some things that you need to know. First of all, this deck is not released yet. It is going to be coming up for pre-order, I believe, on May 3rd. Let me just double check my details here. Friday, May 3rd is when pre-orders are going to open. If you are on Stephanie's newsletter, which I will try to remember to link down below, there's going to be a newsletter coming out April 19th that will have all of the like comprehensive details about the deck, how to get the deck, all that kind of good stuff. So information about the pre-order. If you want all of the information, it's always best to join the newsletter so that you can make sure that you're in the loop. This is going to be a website pre-order, not a Kickstarter campaign or anything like that. So just so you know, it will be a proper pre-order. And there's going to be some alternate cards. We're going to talk about those when we get there. And there's also going to be a full online, like a digital version of the guidebook, which you will get as soon as you purchase the deck. So I think that covers like the basics. Now, I kept this, she puts this cute little sticker on her packages that says Happy Mail. So I just put it on this little cardboard thingy. So other things to note, this is a prototype. This is not an official print of the deck. And the reason that that's really important for you to know is because the colors are going to be a little bit more saturated in the final print. Prototype, in specific, Three Trees Tarot prototypes typically have sharp corners. The deck will have rounded corners when it's done. I usually round the corners of my prototypes myself, but there will be rounded corners and the colors will be richer and more saturated in the final deck. So if you go back into my videos, you can actually see previous videos I've done of prototypes from Three Trees Tarot. I did a prototype of the Smoke, Ash, and Embers, and I believe also of the mini. Oh, and I forgot the Oracle deck. How could I? Oh my gosh. I also have their Oracle deck, which is just fabulous in every way. This is Thistledown. I have reviewed all of these decks here on the channel. I've shown them all on the channel. And you can see prototypes versus the final versions in all cases, I believe. If you dig around on my channel, you can see the difference. But I don't think I've done a side-by-side of a prototype versus a final. Just trust me when I say the colors will be richer in the final version. I think that's all the technical stuff out of the way. This is just an extra little card here. We have a little thank you. Okay. Oh my gosh. When I tell you this deck is so transportive, I just cannot. So we're going to zoom in. Stephanie told me about the concept for this deck a long time ago, and we chatted about it, and I was delighted from the start. Like, truly delighted. I was sold from the start. But let me zoom in, and I'm going to take you on a little journey through this beautiful deck. So the premise of this is sort of like this. The main character of the deck is this sweet little mouse who you'll see, I believe these are the card backs. Yeah, this is the card back design. So this sweet little mouse finds himself coming up in the woods, like traveling through the woods, and finds himself at this sort of abandoned cottage. This sort of, well, we won't call it abandoned. He finds a cottage in the middle of the forest. And everything in this deck is sort of this little mouse's explorations through and around this little cottage. It is magical. It's so cozy. If you are the type to really enjoy a cozy walk through the woods, oh my gosh. So the Fool card really shows the mouse going, ooh, like I was going to say a castle, a little cozy house I can walk through. It's all the cozy vibes. And every card introduces you to, I would say, a different part of that little cottage. And it's like, you can kind of feel like this cottage is something that's being reclaimed by nature. It's like animals and nature have kind of broken in and began taking this cottage back to a natural environment. So you'll see plants poking up out of places. You'll see animals like taking up residence. It's just, y'all, my heart, for real. So anyways, here we have our little mouse friend has stumbled upon a rabbit. That look on this rabbit's face, this like sort of keen-eyed look, is literally everything. We do have one thing that Three Trees Tarot decks do very well is you will find your Rider-Waite-Smith symbology if you're looking for it in every card. It's always there. Here we have the wand, the sword, the cup, and the pentacle sort of flanking the rabbit here. I just love it. There's a real feeling of like magic happening around this, even with like the tattered curtains that fall to either side. Love that. Okay. Here we have the High Priestess, and it's literally this, okay, y'all, I'm terrible with animals, and we know this, so I'm not going to try too hard, but some kind of little bird. Is that a robin? I say I'm not going to try, and then I try anyways. I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyways, standing literally on a bowl of pomegranates, which is so cute. We've got the little scroll rolled up that it's holding on to. It's got the tiniest little, let's see if I can get the camera to focus there, the tiniest little like crown on its head. And our little mouse can be found in every card, sort of interacting with the energy of that card. So you can really storytell with this deck if you'd like. I love this Empress. Yo, I love this energy in the Empress. Obviously, I did something like not similar as in this concept at all, but just I have this kind of an animal. This kind of an animal in my Empress card. I love it. I love the little fall leaves coming through. I love the bunny in the picture hanging on the wall. I mean, there's so much that's charming about this, but we do get that sort of mothering energy, that nurturing energy in this card for sure. Here we have the Emperor, and we have this gorgeous wolf coming down the stairs, and this little mouse looking up at him. Like, there's definitely a power imbalance here between these two creatures, but we don't get the sense of like a battle happening here, or even really a standoff, but you could potentially see that energy there if you wanted to, or if you wanted to read the card in that way. I love how, again, these framed photos are like photos of animals. And we have the stag showing up here in multiple variations. So we have that nod to the Aries symbology of the Emperor. Brilliant. Here we have the Hierophant. This is so great because we have, I think it's a moth that's dangling a key down towards the mouse. And you get the idea that it's a key to open. Yes, there's the keyhole right there. Oh, come on. There's the keyhole right there. In fact, I've got a little magnifying glass. There, you see? A little keyhole. Look at that. So the idea is that this little key is being offered to this little mouse to get into this area. And the shape of these windows has a very like church window kind of feel. So we have all of the, again, if you're looking for that classic symbology, it's here if you're looking for it. But I love the idea that this little moth is kind of like holding the key to let this mouse go into this little area here. So cool. Here we have the Lovers. This is so freaking great because this feels like a nod to the Lovers card from the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Which I think is freaking fantastic. So let me see if I can find it, because I've always really loved the Lovers and Devil in this deck, and I think there's an alternate. Yeah, there is an alternate. We're going to talk about that, but let me pull out the Lovers card from the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Is it going to be the last card? Oh, here we go. So this is the Lover's card from the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. So this is actually a perfect example. You can really see the difference in the richness in color here. Because see how rich this black is? That's how rich the black in this is going to be in the final version of the card. So that's how you can really see the difference between a final print and a prototype. I wanted to be able to show that so you can really see that here. But anyways, this image here is the same image we see hanging on the wall that the mouse has discovered. What I love about this version of the Lover's card is you get this idea of the mouse discovering this like story about these two. And it ties these two decks together in such a neat way that I have to admit, I really love it. I love the nod. But there is an alternate Lover's card. So let's take a look at that. Oh, okay, my heart. How do I choose? So this is like our little mouse friend. Oh my God, how am I going to choose? Okay, this is our little mouse friend looking at, it looks like his reflection in this like bottle of amber liquid here. Are these poppies? Are these a type of rose? Y'all, I'm so bad at plants. There's a self-love element to this card that's so sweet. But I love the connection to Oak, Ash, and Thorn in this one. And this kind of speaks to longevity. This I feel like is much more keyed into like viewing the card in a more relationshipy way, whereas this one feels much more sort of keyed around the idea of a relationship with self. That's so beautiful. I love that. Okay, the Chariot. Oh my God, I like it so much. The Path and the Distance. I really like it. Oh my gosh. I really like the way that they do their banners here too. Here we have Strength. This is so glorious. So this is, when I first glanced at this card on my first like sort of quick flip through, I was like, oh, mouse, leaves. And then I was like, oh, but there's a snake. So sort of facing your fears here for sure. And then we have this lemniscate right there. Being willing to sort of open the door and look into the shadows. That's kind of what I see in this card. It's a really cool depiction of the devil. The Hermit. This is, when I tell you this deck has the coziest vibes. If you are familiar with decks like the Tildwick Tarot, where you feel like the deck is like sort of like almost automatic path working in a way because it's taking you room to room or environment to environment in like this old mansion, this is like that vibe, but much less isolated or empty. The Tildwick Tarot doesn't have any creatures in it, whereas the Heartwood Tarot here has these really cozy, welcoming little environments. And because we're following this adorable little mouse through the deck, and funny enough, even though the mouse is the main character of this deck, it doesn't feel like a mouse tarot deck to me. What it feels like to me is like this little mouse is almost like our little guide taking us into these various little nooks and crannies it's discovering this abandoned cottage or this cottage that's being reclaimed. Anyways, it's just, I just freaking love it. But I love how cozy this vibe is. Oh, there's something about a mouse all curled up and sleeping, and there's so many cards like that, and I'm here for it. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune, and I love the clock reference here. Again, we have some little nods back to the Oak, Ash, and Thorn, because I'm pretty sure, I was just going to say, I was pretty sure there was an owl in the Wheel of Fortune of the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And there's an owl here, and I don't know, maybe I'm just seeing what I want to see. But I love the idea of the little mouse sitting on the top of this little counter, of this little clock, especially because a lot of times, pun not intended, what turns the wheel is time. Time is what turns the Wheel of Fortune, right? Oh my God, I can't, like every card is freaking cuter than the last. And it's very, like I said, it's got these like cozy vibes, but it's cozy. The backs give you fall vibes, right? But like the deck itself doesn't necessarily feel like fall. It just feels like cozy. It just feels cozy. Oh my God. Anyways, this is the Justice card. We have scales here, and that's the upright sword. So again, the symbols are present. Here's the Hanged Mouse. I love how the mouse is trying to like get into this little jar. Maybe it's gotten stuck in the little jar, and this is a jar that says it's holding dandelion and burdock. And I've got to know if that was like an intentional choice, like if there's associations with these herbs that sort of align with the Hanged Man for Stephanie. Here we have Death. This is can be a difficult card to look at because it is depicting physical death, which can sometimes be a little jarring for people. But I get this feeling of this little mouse, like sort of like, I don't know, like, I want to say like blessing this creature, this bird that's passed. But sort of, I guess, maybe just taking a moment of reverence for the brevity of life. I don't know. It just seems really emotive Temperance, we have these two cups, one upside the other, carved into the stairwell post here, or the post on the stairs. Some water that's obviously pooled down at the bottom. We have 1 foot, we have the mouse kind of on land, but its little tail dipping into the water. So we get the space of being between water and earth, or between water and sky. I love that. And the devil, we also here have that nod back to the oak, ash, and thorn in this card. What fun this must have been to create the devil card here. Oh, this is our alternate devil. So just like with the lovers, so let's go back. Oh, I see what's happened here. Okay. So this is something that Stephanie does really well. She ties the lovers and the devil together really beautifully. So here we have our first options. Let me just show them this way. So lovers versus devil, option 1, right? So in the oak, ash, and thorn, the lovers is this, but the devil is the sort of entanglement. So it's like this that's gone toxic, or gone too much attachment, right? We have different like butterflies and things. So we see the mouse reflecting on the differences here and sort of seeing the difference between this and this. So that's really cool. But then the alternative here is we had that self-love kind of lovers, and we can see here where it's gone dark. And perhaps we could even see this as being sort of poisonous. So indulging like in too much of the self can come to a place of ego and a different kind of entrapment. So we really see the light and dark version in both of these pairings. So you can choose which one you want to work with. Oh, I love that. Okay, so let me go back to, let me put the lovers back in the order they were in. And then I'll do the same thing with these. But yeah, really cool. Okay, then we have our tower. I love that the mouse is sitting here looking out at the devastation of the storm outside the house, but there's still a sense of sort of some amount of safety. Some people may or may not love that, but I actually really like the different take. The star. What I love about this is it looks like there's all this broken glass, as if this is something that was found amidst some rubble, maybe after the storm. Ugh. Then we have the moon. This little mouse is asleep in a boot, and the moonlight is just breaking through this like crack in the wall, illuminating him. I love that there's ladybugs in the sun card. I have such a fondness for the symbology of ladybugs, and it's really well suited to this card. I love that our little mouse is safe and warm on this like teapot that's got steam coming out of it. There's a sense of magic through this cottage. Like we obviously get I get an almost like Beauty and the Beast. Okay, this is going to be a weird reference, but you know how Beauty and the Beast, the cutlery and the furniture all kind of had a life of its own sort of thing. And I feel that here. I feel that here in the sense of like, you get this sense that the cottage has a magic of its own that sort of brings life to the cottage itself. Like this teapot, which is clearly cracked and been sitting here, but it has steam coming out of it like it's warm and full of tea. I feel like there's this like magic that runs through the cottage. That's my headcanon about this deck for sure. But I love the little ladybugs crawling around. It really gives that sense of innocence and joy. Love it. And then here we have Judgment. Here we have Judgment, and our little mouse friend is looking in the mirror. Sense of reflection, of looking back, of sort of assessing oneself. And then the world, this is so dang cute. I just can't. There's this little lightning bug down here, or firefly, or whatever you call those. And then there's a wreath with the lemniscate wrapped above up here. And our little mouse is just asleep on the wreath itself. My dog just sneezed, and it was really cute, so I'm probably not going to edit that out. There's some bonus cards here. We have Unease. This is really trippy because this shows like a false mouse, and then he's seeing it and sort of dealing with like coming face to face with the falseness. Here we have Discovery, and this looks like the same star that we saw in the star card. Like maybe this is the jar that got broken in the storm. So maybe the mouse had discovered that star earlier and was like, ooh, that's so magical and pretty and glowy. And then later after the storm had found it shattered out here. Tend. Oh, I love this snail. Oh my gosh. And Surprise. And we have that star again. That is so stinking cute. Oh, and Home. Look at the Home card. Oh, our mouse found a little dollhouse. Oh my god, I die. Oh my god. And he's still on the roof. It's such like a Scooby, not Scooby-Doo. What am I thinking of? Am I thinking of Scooby? No, not Scooby-Doo. Oh my gosh. Snoopy. I was thinking of Snoopy on his house. Okay, now we're into the suit. So we're starting with the cups. We have the Ace of Cups. Oh my god, the Two of Cups. They have a bowl of berries, but this bird is feeding one to this bird. That is so stinking cute. Oh my god. The Three of Cups with them all playing. I've seen these all before, and it's like I'm seeing for the first time. Oh my god. This is amazing. The way they're playing and splashing. And most importantly, this is something I always look for in a Three of Cups card. I want all three figures to be a little different from each other. There's 3 cups here on the card. Oh my god. The wolf asleep in the 4 of Cups. This is darling. And now there are keyword cards that come with the deck. Let me just pull those out because I'm just curious what Stephanie's keywords for these cards are. So let me just pull that out and check with the 4 of Cups. That's another extra card. I'm always curious what people assign keyword wise. So the 4 of Cups is apathy and stagnation. Okay. This just though, you know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of like, a lot of times the 4 of Cups is sort of that like grass is always greener on the other side kind of energy. Like there's a lot of that goes into, I feel like, how I interpret this card a lot of times. But what I love about this is like, you know that feeling like when your dog's not supposed to be on the furniture, but then as soon as you leave, it's on the furniture? It's kind of like this dog has gotten that. They're able to like lay wherever they want in this cottage, but there's still something they feel like is missing. There's still something not quite right. I said dog, but like wolf. Yeah, really good. Oh, the 5 of Cups. He's out by this bunny is like out by a gravestone, and we've got the 3 tipped over cups that are all chipped, and then there's 2 cups that remain. 6 of Cups. Oh my god, the little frogs and more ladybugs. I love when ladybugs show up in cards that sort of bring out the inner child, because that's totally what they represent for me. But we have all these like little ladybugs. We have the mushrooms and these 2 little frogs playing. And we have the 6 cups along the side of the stairs here. We have foxes sneaking into the pantry for the 7 of Cups, which is, a fox sort of assisting. I keep forgetting to look for our little mouse friend. Where's our mouse here? Oh my gosh, I totally don't see him. Where is he? Is he not in every single card? I thought he was. He might not be. I just realized that he's not shown up. Okay, he's in the ace. Okay, and then we get other creatures. But here he is with the little fox in the pantry, which is hilarious. Here he is in the 8 of Cups. I love this. He's climbing over all of this broken down, no good stuff towards the light of the moon. Love that for the 8 of Cups. I am so picky about the 9 of Cups. So my personal thank you goes out to Stephanie and Adam for showing something that is not this creature like surrounded by a bunch of wine. Thank you so much for that. This is such a beautiful interpretation of this card. We can imagine that this little mouse is having the best time either listening to the music or kind of, you almost get the feeling like he's riding the record as the record turns and plays. That's what's happening in my mind. The 9 cups are on these like little, on the, I don't know what you call this, on the bell portion of this. I forget what these things are called. I know it's a record player, but it's called something else, these old ones. And I can't remember right now. Okay, the ducks, mama and babies, in the bathtub that is filled with water, even though it's leaking a bit. We don't care. It's not perfect. And then we have the rainbow. This is really cute, actually, because it brings some of that element of, like, even within the perfection, there's imperfection energy. The Page of Cups, the frog looking in on the fish, is stinking adorable. The Knight of Cups is the little mouse looking at this gourd that seems to be glowing. That's really cool. The Queen of Cups as the deer. The doe. The closed, covered up cup. This is just outside the cottage. And then the king as a heron or crane. Y'all, I'm so bad at this. This is great. I love the crown sitting here at the base. We have like laundries sort of hung up here. And we almost get the feeling we're inside like an old laundry room that's flooded. Love that. Okay, so we're into the pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Look at our little mouse. Oh. It's just such a cozy stinking deck. Okay, it doesn't stink, but like it's a cozy deck, and I'm just very excited about it. The 2 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. It's this snail that's like trying to keep these 2 little pentacles like from rolling off its back, it looks like. Here's the Three of Pentacles. These spiders have created a web with 3 pentacles in it. Four of Pentacles. Little froggy's holding on to his treasures. Like daring you to try to take him. He's in the gutter. That's so cute. The Four of Pentacles. We have that sort of like, this fox is all the way out here away from everybody else, but he's guarding his little treasures. The Six of Pentacles. Ooh, there they are there. What's the keyword for this one? Because I'm loving this idea of like nurturing these plants or giving to these plants. And I think that's kind of the vibe here. So the 6 is giving and receiving an investment. So there's this idea of making sure that these plants can thrive, sort of giving in by, like, you can see the mouse has been turning the faucet with his tail. We have a little wild pig looking creature. I don't know, a boar, a pig. It looks like it might have little tuskies. In the Seven of Pentacles. And the laundry above. There's just, it's so much cozy. Here's the Eight of Pentacles. All of this writing and this repeated stamping. It literally looks like the squirrel has been like stamp, 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 stamp. The repeated work of stamping. That's really freaking cute. And there's like the tip of a fountain pen nib there. This bunny is asleep in the Nine of Pentacles and it is fantastic. It's got his stacks of coins and there's our little mouse friend curled up in front of him. This is just one of those immersive decks. It's just taking me to a place. It's not about being... I don't feel like this is the kind of deck I'd reach for just to be like a basic reader. I feel like this is something I'd pull out when I just need to be cozy, to feel safe. There's a sense of safety throughout this cottage. Like even in the difficult cards like the Tower, there's that feeling of... In fact, let's just look at it again. There's that feeling of like, even though the storm is raging, we still have a sense of safety, right? Even in this Ten of Pentacles, or especially in this Ten of Pentacles, we can see there's like maybe a little bit of, like this, in this painting, you get almost this like sort of spooky vibe, right? But like, there's all this safety and coziness here on the desk. This feeling of like time passing. I don't know how to describe the feeling. The Page of Pentacles is really interesting. It's like a broken down piggy bank. That's really cute. But we're still saving the pennies. I love this Knight of Pentacles. I love it as a chess piece. I think that works really, really well. This queen reminds me a lot of the Oak, Ash, and Thorn for some reason. Maybe because it seems like it's more outdoors than the others. And the King of Pentacles, again, I don't know what kind of bird this is. Maybe that would help me. But there's a crown here. We have this coin leaning against the jar. I just feel like this would be such an incredible deck for pathworking. The Ace of Swords, which if you don't know is kind of a way of sort of putting yourself into a card or imagining yourself in that environment, interacting with those creatures. That is the cutest damn spider. Three of Swords. Wow. All the peeling wallpaper and just cracked windows. So much went into these illustrations. Look at the Four of Swords. Oh my God. It's like a cat and it's like all curled up, just sort of out of the way of all of this fire from these little candle flames, keeping itself safe. The Five of Swords. Oh, interesting. Oh, this looks like a crow that's perched in this spot, but it looks like there used to be another crow here, and those are its bones. Am I viewing that right? Does anybody else see it differently? Comment down below if you see it different, but that's pretty on point for the Five of Swords. Here we have the Six of Swords. Lots of little boats in the pictures on the walls. But what I'm really key into here is the idea that this little fox, that's a fox, right, is walking towards the glowing light of the door, sort of out of any darkness or out of any difficulty. You see the 6 swords from the shadows on the ceiling. That's cool. The Seven of Swords. Here's our little mouse. Looks like there might be a little trap. Let's take a look here. Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing? I don't know what that is. It's actually not... I thought that might be the eyes of like a little snake or something, but I don't think so. I think it's literally like a little hinge on something. I'm not 100% sure what that's supposed to be. Let's see if I can show you and you tell me what you think. I don't know. What do we think? Either way. Oh, wait a minute. It's the rabbit in the picture that's taken the 7th sword. That is so clever. The mouse is like, wait, I can't get over here. Where's the other sword? It's the frickin' rabbit. That's hilarious. There's a little sneaky sneak action going on. That's so cool. See what I mean about magic in the cottage? Yes. I love this 8 of Swords because we have this bunny that's like super overwhelmed and anxious and trapped by all these swords pointing at it, but it has the keys to snip all of these threads. So all these clouds are kind of like what's happening in this poor bunny's mind. It's not a real thing. This 9 of Swords. Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah, so we feel stuck here. Yeah. Okay, and then this is more fear-based. Kind of pincushion vibes here. And this little owl's ruffles or feathers are ruffled. I almost said ruffles are feathered. Feathers are ruffled. And then here we have the 10 of Swords. And all of these like little swords are stabbed into books that are labeled grief, sorrow, and despair. And then all these butterflies moving towards the sunlight. Really creative the way that these cards are depicted, and I really love it. I really love it when creators take risks like this and kind of step away a little bit from the expected scenes and the expected compositions of the cards and really just put their own spin on it. Here we have Page of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Oh! Oak, Ash and Thorn, Smoke, Ash and Embers are the name on those books that are flanking this sort of open sort of doorway, this magical world that this little mouse can go into. Oh my God. This gives so many like magical storybook world kind of vibes. This would be such an inspiring deck to write a fiction story about. Oh my goodness. The Queen of Swords here, this little snake and all these little butterflies. And then the King of Swords. Is that a Merlin? I don't know, man. Okay. Ace of Wands, the doorway, and like being able to open that door, that is totally the energy of the Ace of Wands. The 2 of Wands, we've got the little compass, and we've got this chart or this map of the cottage going on here. Like a floor plan, that's what that is. It's a floor plan. That's cool. Then we have the 3 of Wands, this badger's about to explore and go up those steps. There's the 3 wands there. In the 4 of Wands, we have this little mouse asleep on top of, this literally looks like a cake. I think it is a cake, but it's a cake with mushrooms growing out of it and like little ivy leaves. That's hilarious. And there's a mouse jumping down, another one right here. It's like they had a little party and now they're like, not drunk, they're full. They're like satisfied. Here we have the 5 of Wands. This is so interesting because both of these birds seem like they're stuck underneath this bell jar thingy-mabobber. Is that what you call that? But instead of working together to get themselves out, they're fighting with each other, which is very non-productive, right? There's like competing, you know, instead of helping each other. Then we have the 6 of Wands, this little hedgehog next to the trophy and the monarch butterflies. Like, oh my gosh. This, when the colors are more vivid, this is going to just really be so rich and pop. Here we have the 7 of Wands. The 8 of Wands, these little fish jumping, going to jump out this, like they're leaping into the sky. That's wild. I love this. It's, again, so out of the box, right? This is not the kind of thing you would expect to typically see in an 8 of Wands card. Then we have the 9 of Wands, this little bat hanging upside down, holding on. And then the 10 of Wands just collapsed in front of the fire. All the wands dropped. This little squirrel is tired. Definitely feels like a burnout card to me. Then we have our Page of Wands, our Knight of Wands. Look at the little gecko. I think that's a gecko, right? I don't know. It's a lizard. The Queen of Wands looking up at the like ladybug with open wings. And then finally, the King of Wands. Hanging above the fireplace, a little crown up there on the corner of the picture frame. Oh my gosh, you guys. Uh-oh. What have I done? Hold on. Well, they're out of order now, so it is what it is. Let's shuffle this. This cardstock is going to be the same, basically, I believe, or very, very similar. These decks that are by, let's zoom back out a little bit. These decks by Three Trees Tarot are very, very shuffleable. They're a little bit soft. They're not snappy. It's not snappy cardstock, but it's not floppy and limp. It's got a nice little bit of resistance to it when you shuffle, but not so much that it's difficult to shuffle. I can't wait to sit around the corners of this deck because, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I think you're going to be seeing some other videos, or have probably already seen some other videos from other tarot tubers talking about this deck. The attention that, and the detail and the love and the care that Stephanie puts into her decks, that Adam puts into his illustrations, it's palpable. It's palpable. I have never been disappointed by one of her decks. And I will continue to fangirl over her stuff for as long as she keeps making beautiful things like this. Like, I just love them so much. I love the way that they create a bit of a deck family, and this very much feels like it partners really well with the I just realized, am I dumb? I might be dumb. This is borderless like the Oracle is. Hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Oak Ash and Thorn and Smoke Ash and Embers both had white borders, but Thistledown Oracle was borderless like this. Oh, you guys. Okay. I definitely like this effect. What I really love though, y'all, for real, look at this, okay? Look at how well this little family of decks like goes together. Are you kidding? Look at it. Just look at it all. It's so cohesive. But you know what's funny is I think I'm looking at these and I'm like, gosh, I've paired Thistledown with both of these decks, but I feel like the best pairing truly is going to be Heartwood and Thistledown together. Let's just take a look at it. Thistledown is fantastic. I love a good, like this size deck. I freaking love. Okay, where is, okay, let's not mix up which deck goes with which. This is Oak Ash and Thorn. No, this is Thistledown. Okay, I'm like, what am I looking at? Okay, that's Thistledown. Let me put away. I don't want to get these mixed up. I mean, they'd be pretty easy to separate. They all have different backs. Like also we've moved into, so the back has got a border, but the front doesn't have a border. That's unexpected. Okay. So let me put away my Smoke Ash and Ember just so I don't get things mixed up. And let's just take a look. So we have Bravery here. And let's just, let me not peek and we'll split the deck. So we have Bravery for the Oracle. Oh, like look at these together. Are you kidding? So Bravery between the Seven of Cups and the Hierophant. Strength, Calm, and the Devil. So lying between Strength and the Devil is Calm. Yes, that's exactly right. Between the Hermit and the Five of Swords, we have Grief. Oh. And look at Grief as the turtle. The Page of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and Dawn. Oh my goodness. Eight of Cups, Page of Cups, and Serenity. Celebration with the King of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Two of Wands, the Lovers, and Moving Forward. Wow, that's a potent combo. But you can, again, you can see the difference in the richness of color with the official deck, with an official print of a deck versus the sort of more muted tones of the prototype. So just keep that in mind. The colors will pop like this. I love the little spider in the Thistledown. He's so cute. And I don't like spiders, but jumping spiders with cute faces are definitely a thing. Listen with the Ten of Wands and the Six of Swords. And then let's go a little deeper down. Safety. I was talking about the sense of safety in this deck, specifically with relation to the Tower. So we have the World and the Tower, but we have safety in the middle. I know we're not very zoomed in, but like, I hope you get the vibe. That is just, I love these decks so much. Such a fan. I can't criticize something that I love. Like I'm a true fangirl. I freaking love everything about this deck. So again, this is called the Heartwood Tarot. And the pre-orders for this will open in early May. I believe, again, was it May 3rd? I'm going to double check my notes here. May 3rd. Yeah, that's a Friday. Friday, May 3rd, you'll be able to pre-order this deck. Oh my gosh. Yep. I love it so much. So stinking cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've got to sit down and like round all my corners. I have to figure out the best situation for a Peggy bag for this. I'm going to keep the keyword cards and all of the extra cards just sort of set aside. All right, let me just put all this together. There we go, y'all. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much to Stephanie for sending me a prototype of Heartwood. You know I'm the hugest fan ever of your stuff, and this is so delightful, and I'm so excited to see it in existence. Really, really happy for you. Really excited. You did a beautiful job. To everybody watching, you know, if this stuff calls to you, Stephanie's got such a great heart, and you know, you can't go wrong supporting her projects. So thank you so, so much for hanging out with me. As I said, huge fan. We'll continue to basically collect all of the Three Trees Tarot things. So expect to continue to see these things on my channel because I love them. And they've always been very safe in my collection. So with that said, thank you so, so much. As always, I appreciate you watching. An extra big thank you goes out to my unicorn fam. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. It really, really means a lot. Thank you for creating a space where I can just share the things I love, share in such an authentic way. It means so much to me. I appreciate you so, so much. To everybody watching, thank you for giving your precious time to my videos and to just being here and sharing with me. It really means a lot. And until my next video, y'all, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.